Hey guys, and welcome to week 33 of my pregnancy updates. I'm currently sat in the hospital car park. I've got my appointment with the doctor. I don't even know if it's a doctor. I think it's just a specialist midwife to talk about my birthing options and plans. I just got a bit of stress because the entrance to the car park I normally use was completely blocked off, so I couldn't park there, and I was like, oh my god, where am I going to park? I really hate it when I don't know where I'm going. I called my husband, I was like, I don't know where I'm going, there's like no parking, and he was just like, oh, there's some parking around the back, so you have to drive all around. But then when I actually went out, I found another entrance to the lower levels of the car park, like it's a multi-storey car park for the hospital, so I know where I am, so that's always a positive. So I'm going to have my appointment now and talk about everything. I'm actually feeling a bit about the whole thing because it brings up like bad memories, and also I always feel awkward because I don't speak Swedish. My Swedish is I can speak Swedish but really badly, so I always get someone who can speak English, but I always feel really like awkward because I feel like you know, I feel like really rude that I don't speak Swedish, so I get like anxiety about that, and then I don't know what they're gonna say, and it's all a bit up in the air at the moment. So yeah, but I'm here. I came really early. I'm so glad I did. I've got 15 minutes to my appointment, but I've still got to find where I need to go because hospital is a massive, and they just give you it's like a number, and I'm gonna go find that number in the hospital. So that's my next task, is actually finding where I'm actually supposed to be going. But yeah, feeling good today. Yeah, looking forward to getting this over with. I'm feeling a bit sweaty already, but yeah, I'm gonna go and do my appointment, and hopefully by the end of it feel a little bit of clarification of what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to have another appointment or not, or something else, but that is currently what's going to go on, and I will tell you all about it afterwards. But yeah, off I go. Good morning guys. So I thought I would update you about the doctor visit that I had, and it wasn't actually with the doctor in the end, it was with like a specialist midwife to discuss sort of the previous sort of birth that I had, and sort of why it was quite traumatic and stuff like that, and it was really helpful. But I didn't update you afterwards because it was quite, I guess, emotional. I think I cried most of it because I had to like discuss everything that went on the first time round, and obviously bringing that all back. So I didn't update you straight away afterwards because I was actually quite exhausted afterwards. But it was a really positive appointment, which is always good. We have discussed lots of options. So she did say to me if I wanted to have an elected C-section, which I can have if I want to have one, then this time round the baby would not be taken away from me like it was with Otto, because I don't know how I did that, but when I had Otto I had to have an emergency C-section, and basically he was then taken away from me for like 4 hours until I could move my legs, because I was in the recovery ward, which was just odd for me, and I didn't particularly like that. She said that only happened because, so I'm getting ready because today is quite a busy day. Let me knock the camera over. So Otto's just watching a bit of Daniel Tiger while I get myself ready, because we have one dog with, well, suspected kennel cough. So we're having to keep them separated, and we can't walk them together. So my husband is walking him before work, and then I'm going to do Cora when I take Otto to nursery. So I'm having to get ready because I've got so many appointments today, which I'll take you along with me. But that's why I'm getting ready whilst talking to you, so I hope you don't mind. But also, so she said that I could have a C-section and that the baby wouldn't be taken, and the only reason that he was taken away from me the first time round was apparently because he was born at night time, like 2:40 in the morning. The night nurses on the recovery ward at that hospital apparently refused to have the responsibility to look after babies, so that is why. And they said that it can be quite frustrating for the midwives because obviously they don't really want to separate the baby from their mum, but there's no choice. She said that if this time if I had one, then that wouldn't happen because it would be during the day, and I could just have him with me at the recovery ward. So that's a positive. She also said if I wanted to try normally, that's also fine. Like for like a VBAC, that's also fine. She said that there's only a 1% chance of like rupture when you've only had one cesarean, so that's why they don't suggest a cesarean if you've only had one, because the risk of rupture is very, very low. So that was some news. She said that if I do decide to just do that, then I can write an entire plan of like how I'll be like spoken to, treated in all kinds of ways, or the things I'm going to try out and stuff like that. So she said that she would help me write everything out so that that would be followed, so that I don't have the same experience as I had last time, which is obviously great. She also said that you can obviously plan for a C-section as well. So I can have, say, right, I'm going to have a C-section on, she said week 39 is when they do the C-sections, like if it's an elected one, and that we booked in, so you know that that's the final date. But if you go into labour earlier, then you can either decide when you're in labour whether to still have your elected C-section or decide whether to just try for a VBAC. So that's also something to think about as well. She said that if that's the case, then she'll still write the plan with me in case I do go into labour early, so that if I decide to have a VBAC, all the notes are there, so I still get treated well, basically. So really good information. And I now have an appointment at the beginning of October with a doctor there, just to discuss those options, just for like, so that I can get all the information about like pros and cons of each choice. But really it's my choice in the end, but she wants me to obviously know all the sort of pros and cons of each choice that I make. So I have an appointment with a doctor to discuss that, and then the week after that I have another appointment with her to write a plan up. So that is currently the situation. So it was a really positive, really positive appointment, but emotional at the same time. So it was quite nice because she did actually confirm to me that the way I was treated at Otto's birth was actually quite disgusting. So she said she was appalled. That's at least something that I can have a little bit of variation, that it wasn't just me being like overreacting or something like that. But there we go, can't change that, but let's hope this time round it's a bit better than last time round. But today's really busy, so I'm going to take you along with me and just keep you updated with all my appointments. Because when you get to the end of your pregnancy, you always have loads of appointments to go to. So there we go, that is the situation. So I thought I'd keep you updated. I'm going to get ready because I don't want to leave Otto for too long, and then go take Cora for a walk, and I'll catch up with you later. Hey, so I'm now in the car park and I'm about to go to my midwife appointment to check blood sugar levels, blood pressure, baby's heartbeat, my weight and all that sort of thing. So that is the next appointment that I have today, and then this afternoon I also have an ultrasound, so that's really exciting. And it's actually the first ultrasound that my husband can come to. It's because he hasn't been to any of them, and this one is just because I'm small and they wanted to check the growth of the baby. They did it with Otto as well, because I'm not a big person and I don't get a big bump, even though I feel like it's huge myself. Apparently it's not huge. So that is today, and I'm really excited because my husband can come and he hasn't been able to see the baby in a scan yet, so that'll be really nice. And yeah, I had a good morning. I walked the dog, gave her a little run, and yeah, tired. I haven't had much of a break because of Otto being unwell, and now we have a dog that's unwell and we're having to keep them separated. Like, we have two dogs, having to keep them completely separated so that the other one doesn't get sick. And so I'm having to walk Cora a lot while my husband deals with the sick dog. He can still be walked, he just can't be walked with other dogs, so it takes a little bit of organising, but it's fine. And I'm going to go and do my appointment, and I will tell you everything that is said afterwards. I don't think it'll be too eventful, but we will see. Hey guys, so excuse my appearance. I just put a hair mask in. I used the Olaplex number 3, and then I washed this out and put Olaplex number 8 in, and I washed that out with the shampoo and conditioner, and I do that once a week. So I'm just masking my hair. Just put Otto to bed. I didn't update you from yesterday when I went to the midwife and then my scan, so I was so busy yesterday. It was exhausting. Literally went for an appointment and then home and lunch, then an appointment, then back, and then pick Otto up, and it was just so that's why I didn't update you yesterday. But I went to the midwife and they did my blood pressure, which was great, my blood sugar, which was great, they did the heart rate, which was good, and they also checked like my measurement of my uterus, which hadn't increased at all since the last time I had been. So she was like, oh, I'm glad you're having a scan this afternoon just to like make sure everything's okay, because you haven't actually apparently grown, even though I feel like I have grown. Apparently I haven't grown, like my uterus hasn't grown since the last time I went there, but she said that, so I was a bit concerned when I left, because I was just like, oh, why is it not grown? But when looking at the graph, my bump, because they always say I'm really small, but my bump was like on like average, and then it's like just a little bit dropped now. But you know, my moment when I was with Otto, it was like always under average, so I wasn't overly worried, but obviously a little bit like in the back of my mind. So then I went to the scan with my husband, which was the first time he was able to come to a scan with me this entire pregnancy because of corona. So that was really nice that he got to see, but I didn't get any footage of it, because normally I put footage in, which you've normally have just seen, but the baby's like quite big now, so you can't actually really see anything. So I could see like the back of his head, well, the side of his head in this shot, but that was it. And then she'd move and she'd be like, there's his spine, and she'd have to like move the thing around so I could actually see the spine, and I couldn't even see the legs, like they were just sort of tucked somewhere. So that's why I didn't buy any footage that time, because you actually really couldn't see anything. But the baby's growing absolutely fine, so that was really, really good news. And he is currently head down. So his head is here, and his spine is going this way, his bum is here, and his legs are like here, so taking up all the room. But I wanted to get you updated on that, and yeah, that is sort of been this week. Been feeling okay, lots of heartburn still. I was really thinking about it today, about like just how different this pregnancy is to my last pregnancy. Even though I'm still having boys, you know, I've only ever had boy pregnancies, so I felt like it was going to be the same, but this time round heartburn is, I never had any heartburn with Otto, so that's new. Hip pain isn't as bad this time, and I'm very thankful for that. It still twinges now and then. I'm still doing my exercises, and I was wondering if that was because I've been going swimming like once or twice a week with Otto. Really not swimming, like I'm just sort of bobbing around in the water with him, but I try and do like my breaststroke legs in the water, just to get my hips moving a little bit each time, just literally like 5 minutes of doing that, like not strenuous at all. But I wonder if that's helping, just keeping my hips moving, because it really hasn't been that bad. They do twinge, like now and then. I'm like, oh, my hips hurting, and I go and like do my exercises on my ball, and I roll my legs out, and that seems to help, but nothing like my previous pregnancy. So that's like a benefit of this pregnancy, I guess, but I think it's like the only one, because I've been having serious lightning crutch, where sometimes I actually have to stop walking because I'm like, because it actually really hurts. And when the baby moves a lot this time, it's really sore on my tummy. Like I feel like my tummy's bruised. I don't know if anyone else has had that. Even though I love feeling my baby move, he's actually having a squirm now. It really hurts. I don't know why, but it does. My placenta is on top at the moment, so she said that that was a really good position for my placenta to be in as well. So overall everything is looking really, really good. I just really wish I didn't have this heartburn and the lightning crutch and the sore tummy. But there we go. I'm obviously getting up a lot in the night to wee, and when I need to wee, like if I really need to go, it's quite like I'm like I have to go because it's really painful. It's not painful to go to for a wee, like I don't have a urine infection, but it, like to hold it in, it really hurts. So there we go. That is what's happening so far this week. I put my I feel like I've got a Christmas jumper on, but it's not really a Christmas jumper, but quite festive. But yeah, I'm feeling good and positive sort of appointments this week as well, so that is always sort of a relief. Next week I haven't got any sort of midwife appointments or anything for the next sort of week or so, and then the week after I have one appointment, and then the week after that I have like starts building up again when it's getting like nearer the end of the pregnancy. So there we go. That is my current update. I just wanted to keep you updated from yesterday because I forgot to do it yesterday, so that's it, and I'll just keep you informed throughout the weekend of how I'm feeling. But I'm quite tired today. I had a good nap though at lunchtime with Otto. Otto slept for an hour and a half, and I think I slept for an hour. So that was really, really good. And then we went out to the forest on his bike. He didn't ride in the forest, like on the path around it. We took one of our dogs there, played ball and everything, so a really good afternoon. And then this morning we went swimming, so busy day but fun. And this little one was like squirming in the swimming pool as well, so he's a real active baby. And I always feel my movements up here, which is where the bum is, which is quite strange. I always thought like sometimes I get them here but not so much, even though that's where his legs are. But the bum is constantly jiggling around. And then when he does the bum, he like pushes down into like, the lower regions like really hard, and I'm like, I think he's trying to come out. But obviously he's not, but it's like it's really painful. But there we go. That is my update for currently, and I'll keep you updated over the weekend. Hey guys, so I didn't update you the other day, but I did film a bit of footage of me, which I'm going to play now. I don't think the quality is great because it was really dark when I do it, because it's getting really dark here early now. But what happens, we got all the stuff for the baby out of storage, and what I noticed was that all the clothes that I'd packed, basically I was just really unorganized when I was packing clothes away, was that all the boxes were mixed in sizes, which obviously makes it super difficult to actually find what you're looking for. So I unpacked all the boxes and went through all the clothes and put them in the correct order, so like 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 18, 18 to 24, so on and so forth. So they're now really, really organised. And I also got my label maker out, which was really, really satisfying, and just labelled up all the boxes so that when this little baby is born, we can get each sort of box out for the sort of time that he's in. So next one will obviously be 3 to 6 months, because I've got the 0 to 3 months out now, and I'm washing them all and trying to pack them all away and that sort of thing. So everything has been found, like the bassinet and everything for the pram, the car seat, the baby carrier and that sort of thing. So that is all out now. I ordered a few things online which haven't come yet, that I've already discussed with them getting, but I'll show you probably next week or the week after, whenever they come. I'll show you what I got. And yeah, so that is what I have been sort of doing, just trying to organise. It was a real mess in our living room because everything was out, and we found like the jungle gym and that sort of thing, which my Otto, I was going to say my son Otto, really enjoys playing with and laying in it still. So he found that very exciting that all these new things were coming out. But they're actually all still in the, so it's my dog who's still sick, bless him. Both of them are actually unwell now, of the dogs. Put them in the kennels for one day to go to the zoo, and basically they've got kennel cough, so a bit of a disaster. But anyhow, they're on the mend, so that's really good news. But but the living room is still a bit of a mess. All the boxes are still in there and we haven't put them back into storage, but we will be doing that, so that will be cleared away and it's all organised, so really, really good. So I'm going to end today's video and I'm going to do my weekly update. I'm going to just put you somewhere because I'm kind of holding you up. Where can I put you? Okay, so I just sort of moved and put you on my speaker. And I am going to read the 33-week update thing for you. Oh, that's the other dog now, coughing. It's so funny because they sound like a seal or a goose when they're coughing. It sounds very, very bizarre. But anyhow, so baby at 33 weeks is 43.7 centimetres and weighs 1,918 grams. Even though your baby's bones are hardening, the skull is still not solid and the skull bones are not fused together. But that's very, like, you know, that's so that the baby can be born through the vagina, so it can get squished. Sounds horrible. But that's why. Your baby's brain is developing, more distinct functions, and is capable of controlling breathing, digestive functions, body temperature. So that's really good. It's I think the body temperature one is always a concern, like when you're like in the bath and stuff. We don't have a bath, but when I had a bath with Otto, I was like, ooh, because he can't control his body temperature. So it's good when the baby can start doing that. And your baby can now just be the difference between day and night. Lungs are almost completely ready for breathing on their own, and if your baby is born now, your baby would only need a little bit of medical support, so all good news. As your discomfort increases, you'll probably be wondering about methods of pain relief during labour. It's time to talk to your caregiver about your options. Obviously, I've been to the doctors and I've discussed that with them last week, which you would have seen. Was it last week? Was it this week? Oh my gosh, was it this week? I can't remember. Whenever I saw the doctor, sort of the midwife, specialist midwife. So that was really, really good. And yeah, basically everything is just getting a bit more squished. And your baby is now the size of a, have a look, honeydew watermelon. And if I go onto my other app, because I feel like this one isn't great with sizes, it says that the baby is the size of a butternut squash, or Forrest Gump's box of chocolates, or 80s and 90s nostalgia. Your baby as big as Windows 95 box, which I can remember having. Can you remember having like one of those? Can you see that? Is it gonna focus on it? It might be too bright. But then yeah, I remember having one of those when like we first ever got a computer. So there we go. That is baby this week. I am feeling really good today, actually. It's amazing when you're not having like anxiety, how much clearer your brain is, and just makes such a difference. It's huge. I can't even explain to you sort of how much lighter you feel when you're not having it. It's just amazing. So I'm feeling really, really good. I'll show you the bump. This is my bump. Oh, there he is. It's feeling quite tight today, actually. But there's my bump. I definitely feel like these trousers are getting a bit tight. They're not maternity, they are just my normal sports trousers, but because they're so stretchy, they've been fitting me throughout my pregnancy, which is great, but they're getting a bit tight now. But I'm gonna probably keep wearing them. But yeah, that's this week, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I know I didn't film like loads of clips of me doing things, and I didn't get any sort of scan pictures and stuff like that, but it was a good week otherwise. So I am leaving it on a high, and hopefully continue with week 34 on a high as well. Just keep on organising and getting ready, because baby will be here soon, and just have to get myself organised, the house organised. I think I'm definitely getting that like nesting feeling. I just feel like everything needs to be cleaned and organised, because I know that I'm not going to have any time to do it when he comes. So anyhow, I will see you next week. Bye.